Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony's Picks Morning Show. I'm Tony T. Ready to give you guys picks here for the Major League Baseball playoffs and the WNBA playoffs on today's show. Let's say hello to the handicappers joining us, guys. Remember, if you're looking for our best bets, click the link in the description. That'll take you to our sales page at Tony'sPicks.com. Rod, what's going on?
No, not too much. Looking forward to today's action. We got some nice MLB playoff games going on today. We got some WNBA playoff games going on. So definitely can't complain on this end of things. And hey, look at Goff with the perfect game last night. Mr. Had a great game for Goff. Didn't throw that interception, like I said. And Gibbs ran it up. Definitely got over his rushing yards. So it was not a bad day. On to a new day. Excited. Let's get some money.
More there for that's right. Looking for a good day today. All right, what's happening?
No, man. We should have stuck to the damn 6 scores.
Yeah, I know, right?
Did you go back and look at that, Tony?
Oh yeah.
They all won. They all won or pushed. Literally. There might have been 2 losses.
Yeah.
Just by injuries.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I've had such a great NFL season is because I've been looking at the 6 scores. I learned a lot from Chow and his operation. It's amazing. And again, I should have made Tennessee a premium because that's the one that had the biggest variance of the whole thing, you know. And I should have went over. I should have went over in the Lions Seahawks game because here's an angle I like to look. When you have a healthy offense going against a banged up defense, points are scored. Both offenses had both offenses had the injury advantage.
Yeah, not only that. Well, 2 of the Seattle has 2 of the 3 top
the injury advantage.
Yeah, defensive players that have negative plays for tackles. 3 of the top guys in the league, but 2 of them were out of the game. Yeah. That tells you a lot right there. I mean, that's 2/3 of their pressure. It's the old Baltimore type defense. And if the old Baltimore defense didn't have pressure, then you could score on it. And you could get over the top. And that's what we kind of saw yesterday. And that one, you know, and even as I was reading the article, saw the injury on that one, I was like, I don't know. It's still the Baltimore guy. But no, when you're missing 2 out of 3 of anything on a defensive unit, yeah, I agree with you. There'll be some points scored.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, I left one the Bears. I didn't have the guts to take the Bears. That was, again, another one, a huge injury. Right? I just didn't have the guts. Mindy, how's it going?
I'm doing well. But, I think it was crazy that I haven't seen anything like scoring points there with 24 seconds left. I mean, obviously a little vendetta somewhere along the line. But, yeah, I mean, I love the under in that game. And then, boom, all of a sudden, there it went. Same thing. I feel like some of that information came out kind of late for Seattle. I like the under, and then once you saw like six or 8 folks are not playing, you know, that went it went haywire pretty fast. And I still hate going for 2 in the 3rd quarter. What the hell?
Well, you know, and another important thing, Mindy, is that me and Tony learned from this doctor: injuries during the game, especially if you got a couple guys out. Right? There's no such thing as information on that. That's sure. That is just like, you know, and whatever happens during the game, we got to live with, right? Unless you're doing inline betting. But for us as pros, trying to put out plays for people to enjoy, there's nothing we can do.
And
there were some injuries in that. They go 27 points after battling the first half. In the 3rd quarter, there was, you know, I didn't watch the second half of it, but there was probably definitely some injuries that came into play as well that we'll see this week.
Absolutely. Yeah. Here from Mindy, we now have gone over to how you doing, Bo?
Man, what about that Braves and Mets game, right?
That game was.
I'm talking about it just went crazy in the 8th inning, man. That's pretty wild. Lost that one as well. I had the Braves and that, man. Cruising 3-0. Took out. I don't know why they took out
my Husker guy. Yeah,
man, he was doing well. Yeah, he only had 75 pitches, man. They should have left him in there. But
we talked about that, right? Like same thing with the Mariners, taking all their guys out early. Come on.
Yeah, man, that's just crazy. But we all said that if whoever won the first game was gonna concede the second one, took the Braves, could have laid that 2.5 as well. So overall, man, losing day, looking to bounce back, man. Let's get this cash today.
Let's get this cash today. Exactly. You know, of course, I've missed the premium on Seattle. I wish I would have taken again. I should have had Tennessee, but that's just for another day. And of course, one thing I learned again, when you look at those injury numbers, as we talked about earlier, look for that advantage when you have 2 offenses healthy against 2 defenses that are not healthy. Points are scored. That's what we saw there yesterday. in this one. All right, let's get to the picks, guys. That's what we do here. So let's get on. MLB playoffs. We'll do two at a time here. We'll start with the AL games. Tigers, Astros. We'll start 2:32, 4:08 Eastern. KC and the Orioles. And let me go ahead and pull up my screen and make sure there's no changes in these pitching. I don't think we're having much of changes in this afternoon. Skubal and Valdez in Detroit, Houston. Reagans and Burns here in KC, Baltimore. We start with Rod.
Yeah, and look at this is Detroit taking on Houston. You look at Skubal, and he's definitely been dealing for the Tigers, and the Tigers have been hot. Play their way right back into this spot, have the Tigers. But now you're going against a Houston team that's been here, done that. And look at the way Framber's been pitching. Absolutely lights out. And he already, we look at what Houston or Framber's done against Detroit. He's already pitched against Detroit once this season. And that was without the extensions in. That was way back in May. So he got the win in that one way back in May. His extensions are in now. So only one way to go for me there. I'm going to take Houston. We've seen so many times this season that you look at Skubal, and he has been pitching gems and lights out pitching. But does that team give him enough run support? That's the big issue. You look 3 of his last 5. Detroit's only scored 2 runs. And that's an issue here. That's why the total is only at 6.5. I would lean to an over just because that's such a low total. It's lower than some hockey totals that we'll see this season. So I lean the over, but I like Houston to get the job done in that one. And then Kansas City and Baltimore. You look at this one, and it's tough. Kansas City, you just can't hit a beach ball. You got to score runs to win games, and if you're not scoring runs, you're not going to win games. Sorry, Mindy, but I think I got to lean to Baltimore in that one. It's just you look at the Royals coming down the stretch. They made the playoffs. It's good, but I got to go with Baltimore here in this one. I think Burns has just stepped it up. It's the reason why Baltimore got Burns is for this spot, and I think he steps up and gets the win. I think it's a close game. I think it's a 1-run. I'm not chasing a run line, but I got to go with Baltimore there in that one.
Yeah, from Rod, we move on over to Jorge.
Well, I'm not getting much support from Charlie. He's laying in his kennel. I thought he'd be after listening to Rod. I figure he'd be all over the dogs and barking. And after hearing Rod laid that much chalk on the board up there, it's like Bart Simpson after class writing sentences on the board. Got to go with the dogs here, man. Skubal won the triple crown of pitching. And Detroit's been playing playoff ball all season long.
I wouldn't say all season long.
Well, second half of the season.
I wouldn't say all season long. Down the stretch.
The last month coming down.
Down the stretch.
What, 15-2 or something?
No, but they've been playing playoff baseball last month of the season. They've had no choice, right? So their attitude's not going to change. It's the old Astros coach there, at least Hirsch. So he can try to help the players get ready for the playoffs. They don't have a lot of playoff experience. But Skubal, I'm just going to go with the best pitcher in the league, man. Get him plus $1.30. He's going to be dominant. Neither of the teams have been great against lefties, except somehow it looks like Detroit finds a way to beat lefties. And it's not by scoring runs, but they're 21-12 against lefties. I don't know. And I think Alvarez is banged up for Houston. Houston's not 100%. So I'm going to take the dog in this one.
Dog for Jorge. We move on over to Mindy.
All right. Well, I look at these pitchers, these ERAs over their last 5 games. I mean, sub 2 ERAs. Everything's impressive today. Let me tell you. Skubal 1.42 last 5. Valdez 1.36 last 5. Tigers bullpen has been pretty darn good themselves here in the short term. 2.94 is all they allowed over the last 5 games here too. I'm going to go ahead and go under this total. I'm not scared of it. Sitting at 6 this morning. I think this one is a 5-run. Let's go ahead and take the under.
We may even see 5.5. I'm seeing
some 6. I'll still take it.
Minus 125. And we're looking at some heavy juice there on under 6 there at Circa.
Take that over all day.
Doesn't. Yeah. There may be some people just waiting for it to hit 5.5 and just pound it. But that's a lot of juice on that 6 in this one.
And then it's same thing here. Royals and Orioles. 2.4 for Reagans. Burns 1.2 over last 5. Royals bullpen. They've been 1.315 less than the Orioles. Same again. There's going to be a general theme for me. I'm hitting the under on this one too.
Yeah, you can expect here in these games in these AL games, aces and aces here, a pair of aces.
Pretty sweet day for sure.
Go on over to Bo.
Yeah, man, I kind of got that same mindset with Mindy. I think it's going to be a lot of others coming in, especially early games. Not too much for that Milwaukee game, but we seen the Kansas City Royals just struggle to score, man. Not hitting well, ranked toward the bottom when it comes to the batting average under 200, WRC plus around about 75. Corbin Burns, you know what he do, last 35 innings worth of work, only gave up 5 runs, so. I'm gonna take out the bullpens because Baltimore bullpen did look kind of rough toward the end of the season. So I'm gonna take the under in the first 5, and I do think that Baltimore get the win at home behind a veteran. Now, as far as the Houston game go, I'm gonna take Houston, man. Former Valdez, Pittsburgh, Detroit early this season went 7 innings, only 2 runs allowed. This team know how to get it done in the playoffs, man. So Detroit do have some good pitching. Think it'll be a tight one, but I like Houston in that one.
All right, tell you what I think about that. I'm with Bo here with Houston in this one. Schoolball in his past 9 road starts, ERA 3.5. He did face the Astros back on June 4th, and they put up 4 earned runs and a homer in that one. Only 2 strikeouts. These Astros made contact on him. Valdez, man, I've watched him pitch, man. That ball is moving sick right now, the way he's pitching. I mean, it's amazing. Past 5 home starts, ERA 1.09, whip of 0.85. Houston has won 6 of their past 8 against the Tigers. And we look at the current form hitting here. Past 7, Astros 281 to the Tigers 212. And the team behind Screwball, when he's a dog, of even money to plus 150, 1-4. So they don't get the run support for Screwball there in that spot. I'm going to look at the under here with the KC and Baltimore. It really comes down to Reagan's performing great. Burns doing well. I know in his last start there was a lot of runs put up, but that didn't happen to Burns because he pitched a good 5 innings there. He's allowed 2 runs or fewer in 6 straight. But KC's bats, man, ice cold down the stretch. 167 past 7 games. They really tanked down the stretch, man. They're lucky Minnesota went the other way because they would have been the one we were talking about.
It was all the Marlins. They were doing their magic.
Yeah,
Marlins doing it again. And actually, I don't know what has happened here, but the KC bullpen has suddenly woken up here at the end of the season. Past 10 games, ERA 0.85, and I'll look here. And also, too, trending here, KC 12-2 to the under in Reagan's road starts. Go under in that one. All right, let's continue on here on the Tony Six Morning Show as we get to the Wild National League. Boy, this is a lot of drama in this league here. We've got and the Dodgers aren't even playing in this series. So we got here Mets, Brewers, Braves, and Padres. Let's keep an eye here on the starting pitchers here. Severino against Peralta in this one. Padres are going to throw. Yes, it's going to be Michael King. No Darvish, no Musgrove. It's going to be King. So they're going to put the King up there on the mound. For Atlanta, it could be Ian Anderson, the lead singer. Who's that? For Aqualung. I forgot the name of that band. He's back again, coming back from Tommy John surgery. Could be Schwalmenbach. Could be our friend Elder, the return of the Elder. We don't know. It's probably a game time decision there. We start with Rod.
Yeah, but could be Sale too, right? They told him no Sale.
Well, I don't know. Sale's
not going to pitch the whole series.
It says somebody.
Ooh. At least the Padres series for sure. Already.
Well, just give him some. Just give him a couple shots in the back. It'll be good.
Some of your modern medicine, Rod. He'll be all right.
Exactly. That's all he needs. Just a little pick me up, and it'll be good to go. That's all. Come on. It will cure what's ailing them. Definitely. In that one. So it is what it is. But I think the Padres sitting there waiting, ready to go. Atlanta. After that craziness yesterday, having to sweat it out, and now who you're starting today? It's I guess they're going to juggle the names that Tony listed does not bode a whole lot of confidence for me in the Atlanta Braves winning this game. Not the way the Padres are going. I'm going to take the Padres on the run line. I think they beat up on Atlanta in game 1 of that one. And then I'm going to go the over in the Mets and Milwaukee with Peralta on the mound. Peralta, he hasn't been locking it in and Mr. Lights Out like we've seen. He's good for 2 or 3 runs. And we look Severino on the other side. He's good for 2 or 3 runs. So if it's 3-3 and to 5, well, then you throw the bullpens in there and we get well over into 8-9 runs. So I got to go with the over between the Mets and Milwaukee in that one.
Yeah, from Rod, we move on over to Jorge.
And Rod, if we can find out if that roof is not going to be closed, that wind's blowing out to center field 21 miles an hour.
Even better. Yes, leave that window open so it'll be.
So, and I don't know if any of you guys have any information on that, but definitely would like to see. I think otherwise, I think the weather's nice, so hopefully they'll keep that open. And I don't know what conditions that it's easy to pick it in Arizona or Houston when it's real hot out, or it's when 90% humidity and 80% heat. They'll close at Houston. That's just for the fan base. So trying to figure that out is definitely important in some of these games, especially if the wind's blowing out. And some of these retractable fields, man, and that the wind like just swoops in there and just takes balls. When it's a little bit different than a completely open field, so that could be a huge advantage. Definitely going with the Padres in that game. Obviously, not only are the Braves not sure who they're pitching, Sale goes out. They just played a doubleheader. They had to get on a damn plane and fly across the country. I mean, that's just human element, right? Now they got to get up and play. King's been a stud all season long. I think 23 out of 30 of his starts, he's allowed at least 2 runs or less, I believe. So he's been fantastic. And run line there with the Padres and the over. I think there's going to be some runs scored in that game.
There from Jorge, we go over to Mindy.
All right. Well, again, I said there's a general theme here for me today with the Mets and Brewers here. I know that Peralta hasn't necessarily been outstanding on the mound this season, but I think this is the time for him to really kind of kick it in gear here. I really only look at him as about 2 earned runs, same on the mound here for Severino. I think it was nice that they were able to save him, from game 2 there, putting Lucchesi out on the mound. I only see 1 each here out of the bullpen. I'm going to go under again in this game, Mets and Brewers. Same thing. We got King, 1.57 over his last 5, really hitting it hard in the short term. And then Ian Anderson, I think he's getting the start right. Otherwise, I'm kind of looking at maybe a bullpen game. I mean, other than yesterday, Atlanta's been pretty well, has done pretty well, in the late innings. Braves offense still only hitting 207. It's one of those, I'm going to go under the total here again in game 4 of the day.
There we go from Mindy. We move on over to Bo.
Man, why not take the most profitable team, man? On the money line with them Brewers plus 17 units for the season. They're 47-34 at home. We just talked about it, man. The Mets played a doubleheader, and before that series, they had to travel to Atlanta. Then they have to travel all the way to Milwaukee with no day worth of rest. It's gonna be tough for them. Severino last 3 games on the road, ERA is over 5. Giving them Brewers, man, to get it done in that game. Same thing with this last game, man. Atlanta, looked pretty bad. They used a lot of their relievers in that first game. Then they had to use some of them again in that late game. I know they got the win, but I think it'll be a tough spot for them giving the Padres at home on that run line.
Yeah, from Bo. All right, Ron Crawford there speculating maybe Fried. I don't know if they would throw Fried on 3 days rest. I'm not sure they want to do that here when they got some arms that are still sidelined here. Fried last pitched on the 27th. And also against Kansas City, he went 8 2/3 innings. Did pitch 98 pitches there. Very efficient outing there for Fried. But I didn't read where Fried was in the mix. But you never know if he's willing to go on 3 days rest. Maybe they throw him up there. But it's tough to say there how Atlanta would manage that part of it. I don't know how Fried would feel about it on 3 days. But sometimes these pitchers, they seem to get a little, they get their feathers ruffled when you ask them to do things they're not used to doing these days. It's not the old days anymore. I like the old days, the pitchers would go to the manager and say, "Give me the ball."
No, they pitched 7 innings, man. I'm a full believer of that in baseball. These guys don't pitch innings anymore because they don't pitch long into games. In Japan, on their off days, they pitch simulated games on the sidelines. A full 9-inning game. That's why they have that. In the NFL, all these damn injuries. It's because they cut off the preseason. These guys don't get hit for an extra 3.5 games a week, and so now we just historically, ever since they cut back on preseason, we have more injuries early in the season. The injury reports are ridiculous right now.
Yeah, and look at Justin 1890, a really good point here. Fried, penny free agent, no shot. No shot. There he was, the millions and millions of dollars on the table. I think they probably not a shot here. Fried going on 3 days rest.
But you look at this one, and who goes next, right? I think that's what the Braves look at. It's almost like they throw away this game 1, and then you look who goes next, Lopez and Morton.
I don't know if they throw it away, but I think
they're going to try. They're not going to throw it. It's not like, we're just
they got to outscore.
I
know that sounds dumb, but they need a big offensive day.
They need another 8-7 their way, is what the Braves are hoping for. Is what they're hoping for. Yeah.
I'm there with Bo on Milwaukee here at this price. Severino past 3 starts was lit up for ERA of 5.63, was getting hurt by the home run ball. Peralta at home has been solid here. Past 6 starts, ERA 1.76. And Milwaukee, remember that last series? They won 7 of 8 against the Mets. We look here, Milwaukee's pen in the better form over their past 10 games, ERA 2.25, Mets 5.71. Remember that last game that Milwaukee sat people and didn't put in their best arms, get ready for this spot right here. Atlanta and San Diego, I'm going to be that guy that I see Atlanta here plus 153. I just can't help myself. I got to take Atlanta in this spot. It's to me, the value is there with them. And over the past 10, the Braves are hitting, the Padres aren't. When you look at the Braves against winning teams on the road over their past 20, 13, and 7, the Braves have won 3 of their past 4 against the Padres. It's so much like San Diego to lose this game. the way they do is they play down the opponents, and we've seen them many times when they're facing. If they're facing a solid ace, hey, I think they got a better shot going. Oh, it's not Fried, it's not Sale. It's going to be Elder or whoever.
Tony, you sound like a Dodger fan.
Exactly.
That's right, because I've seen it so many times when the Dodgers played the Padres. Win the series. They come back and they lose 3 in a row to Colorado. I mean, that's just the way they do it. That's the way they operate, right? They think, that's how their mindset is. So I'd have to look at Atlanta there in game, and then it's just so much like the Padres to lose this game. Oh no, we don't know who. When everyone thinks they're going to win, they don't. I've seen it many times. Rod's laughing because we've seen that. When they played Colorado, when they played the White Sox, they needed 2 walk-offs. They needed 2 walk-offs to win that series. Remember that?
Right?
And they're battling for home field, and that's what they were doing. And that's right. Remember, these series are only best of 3. There's no travel, so there'll be 3 games at these home slots. That's where they're going to play the next 3 games. So they play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with no travel, which I like. I like this. I like the fact that if you win the seed, you get the higher seed, you get all the games at home. That's the way I like it. All right, let's continue here on Tony's Picks Morning Show, guys. We're going to go ahead and transition to some excitement here as well. We got some game 2s in the W as we're getting right down to the wire here with this season. These are best of 5 series. We'll knock them out here 2 at a time. Aces and Liberty. Liberty going to lay 4, 4.5. Sun and Lynx. Lynx going to lay about 5. Liberty up 1-0. Sun with the win there in the opener. We start with Rod.
Yeah, look, in these 2 contests, it's all I've heard is Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. I'm really tired of hearing about the Liberty. I think the champs decided that they should get up off the mat and punch the Liberty right in the mouth today. I'm going to take the Liberty plus the points. We looked at some games here this season.
You mean aces? Aces?
Yeah, I'm going to take the aces to punch them right in the mouth, right in the chops today. I think we've seen the aces at plenty of times. They don't.
I want your bookmaker, Rod.
They don't lose back-to-back games. They're just one of those teams that they step up after a loss, and that's what I expect here after a loss. It was close because they made it close and then they pulled away, and with 10 points, that's nothing. You can go on a 10-0 run in nothing. I think this Aces team has definitely plenty of guys pieces that can step up today, including Plum. I think Plum has a big game today for the Aces.
Thank you,
I think she goes off. Yeah, I think she just goes off. She has one of those big games here. You look at the Aces, what they did behind the arc, and they only went 7 for 25. That's rare for the Aces to go 7 for 25. I know in the video I like the under. I still think we get a bigger defensive game than what we did in game 1. So I definitely got to go with the under, but I got to go with the Aces and the points. It's you're going to give me over possession with the Aces. Give me the over possession with the Aces. Mm-hmm. And then with the Sun, you know where I am with the Sun. I've been cheering the Sun all season long. Do I think they win it outright? I don't know. Tough spot to. We know the Lynx are going to give an all-out effort because they don't want to go down 0-2 heading back to Connecticut. But I'm going to take the points because I think it comes down to who's got the ball last. So give me the Sun plus the points on that one.
And plus the points there from Rod shot there. We got a good contributor here. Ranger Sharp picks out there. Cash it. Absolutely. We gone over to Jorge. We didn't talk much W with Jorge, but I know he's got a team out there in Vegas. So the Aces, they've got defending 2-time WNBA champs. What do you think, Jorge?
Actually, I have followed their games and even seen a couple of their games against the Liberty and seen how they play. Yeah, they're going to bounce back. Obviously, they've played well all towards the end of the season. Spike Lee's washed up. Who cares what he does? I mean, like I said, all he does is got hurt a little bit more fired up. But I do think it's going to be a bigger defensive battle. They've won championships. They know they're not going to win, the series or get back in the series scoring 90, 100 points. That's not going to happen. Then they got too many scorers on the Liberty. So they're going to have to get physical. They're going to have to play some defense. They got the players to do it. Jackie Young's going to have to have a big night. But the supporting cast of the Aces is what needs to step up. Only the top 3 players showed up, and they threw double and triple teams at Asia Wilson. So she had a little bit of an off night. So I put that on the coach. You got to have better, after a half, space it out. Put your players on the weak side, wherever they're bringing that double team from or triple team. All you got to do is set a shooter, a set shot right there, whatever player they're bringing. That player steps back towards the line, or you position someone in the rotation, and you can just start hitting some of those 3 rods. Maybe they just missed open threes. It kind of
it is. They have
sounds like it.
On the
Just
3
going back on what you said. So, a defensive battle, and hopefully the Aces can even out the series.
What did you take on the season for the Aces this year? A lot of injuries, but really playing down to the level that we've seen them play in the past. They had some spurts where they played really good when they got really healthy, but it's been inconsistent.
Definitely, when you look at the Aces down the stretch, they played consistent. They've picked up all those injuries, but they've had those depth players that have stepped up. You need Chelsea Gray to have a big game. She averages usually double digits in scoring, and she didn't even do that last game. So you need her to step up and score double digits. We can't just have 3.
Someone's got to guard Stewart. She went off.
Yeah, she'll go off. Yeah, exactly.
14 for 19. You ain't going to beat somebody to go 14 for 19.
The Aces coach will have definitely a different little game plan after making changes and shifts to counteract what the Liberty have done. I know the Liberty have beat them all season long, but we've seen the Aces at this point in the last 2 seasons step up. So I expect a big step up game here for the Aces here.
There we go from Rod. We move on over to Mindy.
I do not believe it, you guys. I do not believe it. The Aces are not winning this game. It's one of those that they have not played well all season. I think a lot of it comes down to the bench. They've only had 2 players that come off the bench that maybe average about 12 minutes. These gals are getting up there in age. Just saying, they are. And I think they've run out of steam. They're not the same Aces team that they were in the past. And if you look at Breanna Stewart, no one can stop her right now. You're not going to go and out rebound her. She has the length. I just feel like they've left too many open shots because they are trying to double team too much. So they leave, folks like Jones open, right? I mean, you just can't do that. They're too good. And I feel like, I know they missed a lot of open shots, but that has to do with a lot of, inside pressure, not being able to get the ball inside. And I think that's what Vegas wants to do. They don't want to rely on the 3 necessarily in this game. So, I see that the Liberty take it to them here again, especially at home. And then I was on the Lynx game 1. I think this is, again, the sweep by the sun in this one for sure. I wasn't quite a believer in DeWanna Bonner being able to hold Collier down like they did, with Caitlin Clark. But I feel like I saw that happen again in real time. And I just think her length has everything to do with how this game goes. I think the Sun is too good defensively. I feel like, Vegas has kind of squeezed the line here on us for these unders. They still kind of worrying me a little bit today. They both went, about 4 or 5 points down from those totals from a couple of days ago. But I do like the Sun. So I'm going for 2 sweeps here tonight.
There we go. But, actually, it's best of 5 here. So
is it? That's right.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
It's not quite.
It's all right. I thought it was
Take it easy on
That's
the
right.
Take
All right.
it
There's no, I'm not going to call sweeps. Sorry.
No sweeps here. Yeah. Well, that's
Put
right.
your room away for right now.
There we go. We move on over to Bo.
Everybody gave out some good breakdowns, but I'm gonna take the Vegas, man. Aces plus some points. They're 9-4. It's an underdog in the last 13, and they're 3-4 against the spread when they get 4 points or better. So I'm just gonna jump on them. They have been playing well on defense, holding teams to about an average of 71 points since the break. So I think that defense will step up on this one. So give me them points. And far as the Lynx go, I'm gonna take them in the first half. I think got about 2.5 to lay on that spread. They was up 5 points going to the fourth quarter. Connecticut just shot really well from 3. I think Minnesota bounce back. I think I'll come out early and get this first half spread cover minus that 2.5.
There from Bo. One I like here, I like links again to go under. Got in the 40s, right? 140s in the first game. It's total spot 152 and a half. You got two teams that played at a slow pace. Very good defensive efficiency since the Olympic break. And the Sun here allowing 94 points per 100 possessions. Links here at 96. You like the under in that one. All right, we got you through the MLB. We got you through the WNBA. We'll see if the Cappers have a parlay or peripheral for today. Maybe we've got a pick coming up for college football, NFL next week, early picks. We'll find out. Or maybe it's parlays here in these. We'll start here with Rob.
For me, we're going to look at this Detroit Tigers taking on the Houston Astros. And I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker to hit a home run. He's hit a home run in his last 3 appearances against the Tigers. So he loves playing the Tigers. So give me Kyle Tucker to hit a home run. And then I'm going to go with Jorge Soler of the Braves to get an RBI. If you look on the road, in the last 8 Braves road games, he's got 7 RBIs. So give me Jorge Soler of the Braves to get an RBI today as well. As in that one, as we said, we think we're going to see some runs between the Braves and Padres. So take some player props in that one. Lots of runs being scored there.
Mm-hmm. Sarah from Jorge, we move on over to Jorge. So UNLV's got another Friday night game coming up.
We do. We got Syracuse coming into town, and I can't believe it, -6.5. But I guess I kind of have to believe it. This William kid was just unbelievable. I mean, he was actually better than the freshman last year. I mean, his reads were great. You got Ricky White into the game, who has been non-existent. And he was gliding. He's just one of those guys when you see him running the ball. Hurts don't run so much anymore, but in college, it doesn't look like he's sprinting, but the next thing you know, he's got 20 yards. And they say you don't run like Saluka, which you may not, but it's not how you run every play. If you're going to run people over, it's when you run. If you're a quarterback, right? And sometimes you can run and not get hit, instead of being a ping pong ball. Getting bounced off all the players for 4 yards. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's a Friday night game. It's the first time we've had I used to go to the Randall Cunningham games when I was a kid back in the day, and he was literally throwing balls and kicking balls 70 yards in the air. Not an exaggeration. He would go across the whole field back and forth, and it was just amazing. But you know what? It was impressive to watch. And I tell you what, man, it's a big barometer for UNLV, right? Here's the reality. Odom has brought a lot of SEC guys over. We're like the little mini SEC of the Group 5 team, that's actually come out of one of those big Power 4s and brought a coach and kind of developed a program like that. We've never been that fast and hit players that hard, and I don't know when. My buddies told me when I went with a bunch of guys I grew up with here from Vegas, and they're like, "You were spot on, man." But they were hitting people from the get-go as soon as they're out the gate. I mean, even the little guys, I was like, "Yeah, dude, we haven't watched football like this. This is big boy football." So if they can beat Syracuse, I tell you what, they have a great shot at beating. Because I'm not putting anything above Boise State until they beat them. Boise State's a program. Period. They're big. They're big like the Power 4 teams. They'll be fine over in the Pac-12. That's why they can always upset them, because they match up on their depth all the way across. And not just weight, it's just size, tall, height. They've always had that. So let's see how they do against Syracuse. Syracuse has got a great quarterback in McCord. Is that McCord? Do I have that right, guys? I'm still foggy headed from my blue, man. I believe it's McCord. Came over from Ohio State.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So they're going to have a legit quarterback there to throw to. But yeah, man, I got to give Odom. I've never seen a coach spread out the ball to so many players and all of them just step up and be in routine. It's like you just don't even know who gets the ball. I mean, they're all just pumped into that system. And as much as I don't like the offensive coordinator, Mr. Little Go-Go with his gold chain on the sideline, kind of like Deion Sanders, man. If you can back it up, you can back it up. And Marion has done that. We lost Petrino, and he came over from Texas. And, he went slow running game with Sluka. You got to give it to the guy. He ain't about his system. He's awesome in game calling plays. And for a youngster, for Marion, Odom's going to be gone soon. One of the big schools is going to take him back. I hope Marion's the one that they keep him around. And that year when Odom leaves, they put him into head coach because he's made UNLV football fun to watch again.
There you go. From Jorge, we move on over to Mindy.
I'm going to take a look at some fantasy props here. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mr. King over his fantasy prop of 30.5 points today. I think this is a perfect spot for him with that 1.57 ERA here in the short term. I think he gets to win here today. The Braves offense has been awful. You guys talked about the travel. Braves right now, 3.6% lower than their season-long average. I feel like this is the spot for King. They might put him all the way through this one. I really like his over 30.5 fantasy. I think it comes in about 35-36 today.
There we go from Mindy. Move on over to Bo.
All right, man. I'm gonna take Luis Severino under 5.5 strikeouts, and I also like Corbin Burns over 4.5 strikeouts, and Former Valdez over 5.5. You can probably get that 6. That's a nice little prize pick parlay for you guys out there, and your boy Bo.
Yeah, from Bo. All right, let's give you a 2-team parlay here. I like the Sun and Lynx under with the Astros there. All right, let's find out what the cappers here have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Head into a big week of NFL, WNBA, Major League Baseball playoffs, and the NHL starts on Friday. We'll find out from Rod what's going on over at Tony's Picks. Head into a big week.
Yeah, and over at Tony's Picks, I've got my 10-star play of the day. You can scoop that up over at Tony's Picks. It's also included in the wild card MLB triple play. 3 plays in today's MLB wild card action. I have 2 plays also in the WNBA for long-term subscribers. So that's the way to go. Jump on something long-term. Loaded week of action still to come. We got more WNBA action. We've got lots of MLB action. And college football starts on Thursday. So and NFL will be back on the weekend. So as Tony says, grab that week pass. That is the way to go. That way you don't miss out on any of the plays got going this week. Loaded weekend of action. So jump aboard. Let's continue to crush the books.
Crush the books there. Get on board. Rod, a great year for Rod. So I get over. And so get on board with Rod right now over at Tony'sPicks.com. Or let's see what Jorge has for sale over at Tony's Picks. Jorge enjoying as well. A great year right now. Over 1,550 units of profit. What do you got for sale over at Tony's Picks?
And I will have some plays up shortly. I'm definitely on the late steam with some of these MLB games. I'm going to be probably putting out a play on each and every one of them. I'm kind of like I am going to put Mindy's approach to my picks on this. There are some blanket things I am going to follow across the board that'll bring it in, especially in this wild card one. Just playing, it's almost like a little mini series in the towns. Definitely going to look at that and look for some sweeps. I don't think we're going to see too many 3-game series. So I'll literally have a play out today on every game.
I got on board with Jorge. I've joined a great year at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, let's take a look at Mindy, what she has for sale at Tony'sPicks.com. Mindy enjoying a great NFL season. Sure, what do you got for sale?
So I'm going in on baseball. I decided not to go in on the Royals-Orioles. I probably like the Orioles to win this one, Rod.
Well,
so you know. But yeah, I'm in on all the other 3, so make sure you go ahead and check out my 3-pack. I also gave my video rundown. You can take a look at some of those and where I stand. Also, my best bet of the day. You can go ahead and pick that up at Tony'sPicks.com. Only $19, and also use a promo code TonyT at checkout. Started doing some videos for the upcoming NFL week, so make sure you go ahead and check those out. Also, that's what I have for today, Tony.
Yeah, get on board with Mindy over at Tony's Picks, enjoying a great NFL year over there at Tony's Picks. Let's take a look at Bo. What's going on over at Tony's Picks? Bo, what you got for sale?
Yeah, man, my best bet today is going to be in the sport I'm doing the best in, WNBA. It's going to be on that side between the Lynx game. Also, I have 2 plays in MLB. So, guys, it's the first day of the month, man. Go ahead and get them 30 days. That way you ain't got to worry about it, man. You get every play we put out, plus that late steam. And we always tell people, man, it's a long-term game. You know what I'm saying? So, you're really serious about getting this cash. Go ahead and get something long-term. We'll definitely put some bread in your pocket.
That guy's got on board with Bo. Of course, I'll go to a point there. $38 sports pass. That gets you right into the World Series, near the end of the World Series. I think the World Series ends on November 3rd. This gets you through probably the first 6 games of the World Series. So get on board. Also started the NBA season starts 3 weeks from Friday. So we're not. The training, the practice, the media days were yesterday. The practices start today. The guys will be on the court today practicing, and then of course the first preseason game. I think the Timberwolves and Lakers play on Friday out here in Palm Springs.
Did you hear the latest?
What's that?
They got a nice little video of LeBron James saying how much fun Diddy's parties are.
Oh, no, we don't need any more drama. All the drama. It's going to spread over everywhere, from entertainment to sports to politics. That whole thing is going to spread everywhere. So There's more drama in the air, and what's in this world never stops. All right, guys, get best bet on the board. Get on board. Of course, we talked about that 1 month long all sports pass multi-capper promotion. Remember, one thing to note: if you buy a 1 day pass, all the picks are profit guaranteed on the 1 days. If they fail to provide profit, those credits are posted back into your account for us there. That's profit guarantee on our 1 day passes. And of course, remember the long-term passes. I'll include the late steam plays. We allow our cappers here, very unique feature we have at Tony's Picks. They can put plays in between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time. Those are emailed to you for the long-term subscribers. Not so on the membership plays. The early ones are in there, but the late steam will be emailed to you. All right, that's going to do it for our show. Before we go, any closing thoughts from anybody?
RIP to Mutombo and Pete Rose. Man, I tell you, that was kind of a bummer day yesterday.
Certainly was. Certainly was.
So now we're going to let him in? Rest in peace, buddy. He rose, but now do they let him in?
They will.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that's probably the crappy thing to do. But shout out to Mutombo, man. Talk about somebody who went back to his roots and took care of his homeland. Since he retired, even when he was playing, but since he retired, all you would hear or see videos of him back helping people out, man.
Helping people out, yeah.
So God bless. He was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
RIP.
I too. P.S. to Pete Rose. As a Dodger fan, I respected his game, man. It disrespected the fact that they call him Charlie Hustle. Fortunately, he played hard.
You know what? Rest in peace, but they shouldn't let him in. The dude's a damn degenerate. I mean, he's in here gambling in Vegas. I mean, when he left, he came here doing drugs, doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
They all do it. They all do it. They all take steroids. They also do it.
My whole point is this. No, yeah, and I loved him. I'm all for anybody who plays hard. I don't care about that. I'm not against him. I'm just saying, don't be a hypocrite and let him in now. You know what I mean? That's Major League Baseball. I mean, if you weren't going to let the guy put his issues, and they all got vices. We all got vices. But set it aside to let him in the league. Don't do it when he's dead. I mean, that just makes MLB look bad. That was my point.
Yes, I agree with that.
I agree with that. If they should have done it while he was living. Yep, that'll do it. That's the deal for the Tony Sticks morning show. Just want to let everybody know about the video series up here. And Rod, you've got some videos up there from the WA. You and Ron up there.
Me and Ron got some WNBA videos. Definitely go check those out going forward this week. I've got at least 4 that are confirmed for a college football show going this week. So definitely be on the lookout for it coming soon to Tony's Picks videos. So definitely be on the watch for it.
Absolutely. I know, Mindy, you've got some videos up there. See, NFL, I know you get your dazzling data-driven picks throughout the baseball playoffs as well.
That's right. We're still hitting that every day. You'll get my very best statistical plays. So what I do is I track everything. So it's my variance versus Vegas. I put those into buckets. I know how frequently things hit when it is my model. And of course, I try to give you the very best information out there available so you can make your own picks. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to help you with information. So that's what I do every single day. Bring you the data.
The data on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I know, Bo, you've got content up there. You like to get ahead of the game here with a lot of NFL, college football picks. We've seen them in long form as well as short form.
Yes, sir. I'll be in them NFL shorts and college football, and I do drop in some MLB plays as well. So go out and subscribe, guys. We'll greatly appreciate it.
That's right. Like, subscribe, set notifications, guys. All right, that's going to do it here for the show. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to the Cappers here. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Looks like it'll be baseball playoffs until we get to the NFL on Thursday. And then
have a winning day.
Have a winning day, everybody. And we'll catch up with you tomorrow here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show.